Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Today's adventure begins in Celebration, Florida. As of the recording of this, it is Easter Sunday, and they are having the weekly Sunday farmers market down the road here into the downtown section of Celebration. I have been considering purchasing into DVC, Disney Vacation Club, for a couple years now, and I think today is the day I'm going to make that decision. The only thing that would stop me from doing so is there's no cast members on staff because it is technically Easter Sunday. But if I am able to do so, today is the day. And if it doesn't happen, then I will just talk about why I'm going to do it and try to give a step-by-step detailed account of why I want to and how that's going to work. So I'm going to depart from here and drive over. I have procured a reservation for Hollywood Studios, so I'm going to tap my magic, oh, I get my magic band, tap my magic band there, and then take the Skyliner over to the boardwalk, view some rooms, and then maybe park hop to Epcot later after 2. I'm inviting you to join me. It's going to be a good day. Shall you? Looks as if they repainted this archway entrance as well. Now, I've done a little research on the subject matter, but I am in no way an expert, so this will be a learning endeavor for me as well. And the reason I'm park hopping is not to go on any attractions or rides. By the way, you can see Spaceship Earth over there in the distance. It's because I want to show the proximity to where I'm looking at to be my home resort, if it works out, and just to show the distance commute-wise on the Skyliner to Studios and to Epcot. All scanned in, stopped off at Starbucks. They are preparing a piping hot caffeinated beverage for me. And I talked to one of the DVC stands here, and they said to head over to the Riviera. By the way, vanilla latte. Head over to the Riviera. They said that is where the most cast members from DVC will be, to not only answer all the questions, but to draw up the contract, show the rooms, etc. Now, I'm not looking at the Riviera, but that is where most of those who can answer my questions and take care of the business are during these times. So, off to the Riviera. Now, I don't want that to be what they call a home resort, and what that means is that's the one that you have the most options to check in throughout the tenure of your membership. I'm not looking at Riviera, I'm looking at the boardwalk. But then again, I have not made any final decisions on what I'm gonna do. So, you know, all bets are off at this point. I was gonna take the connecting gondola station over there. However, it is a very lengthy line. You can see all that stretching up there. And they recommended it would be quicker to walk. If I continue up this way, I can walk over to the Riviera. Doesn't look like it's going to be too far. That is it, kind of protruding up over the top there. Now this is Caribbean Beach. Just because you have a home resort, I'm just calling it that because that's a technical term for it, doesn't mean you can't stay at other accommodations similar to this one. And the, gosh, how many are there now? 25 plus resorts out here. It's just the one that you're choosing, and it's all based on price. So if I'm at the boardwalk, it's going to be less in the grand scheme of things than if my home resort was the Riviera, which you see over there. I think that's how it works. Some people fishing over here on a pontoon. Yeah, you can fish at Disney. Pretty neat. Now, there are a few different reasons on why I'm deciding to do this and have been thinking about it. I'm currently 47 years old. Looking at it as a 30-year investment. Now, I might not live to be 77, but if I do, I can balance that out. You know, the fees and whatnot, as well as the monthly fees, tally them all up. I'm looking at maybe getting 125 points, which is the minimum that you can get starting off. And I kind of figured it out to be, it would be about $200 a room if I went that route over the next 3 decades to stay at some of these resorts that are, you know, $300–400 a night sometimes if you were to pay for them singly without being DVC. You know, give or take. It's just a rough estimate. A big part also of the decision was based on my availability. I would not be staying at any of these accommodations, you know, in prime summertime or Christmas week New Year's Eve, anytime that it would be very busy, the points go up. So I'm looking at 125 points to stay at some of these spots. And in the off season, certain days, some of the points for regular single rooms with just 1 or 2 beds, which is what I would not be getting any suites or anything of that nature, just basic accommodations, nothing too drastic or extravagant, could be 8 to 9, let's say 10 points per evening. So I could get bare minimum in the off season 10 stays, maybe even 11 stays a year. All this could change when I get more information once I get over there. If I did not have that availability and I had to come out here during and stay during prime times, I don't know if I would do it, or if I had a rather large family. It's just me, so it makes it a lot easier. All that factors into why I want to do this. And I can document and film videos, you know, and give room reviews and resort stay experiences, which would help out not only the channel, but, you know, it'd also be fun for me over the tenure of the rest of my life. You know, just a few times a year. Let's say 8 to 10 to 12 stays a year on average during off time. I know it's very confusing. In fact, it's very confusing for me as well. It is not something that really makes a whole heck of a lot of sense, but I have done a little bit of research, and the questions that I need to be answered will be answered momentarily once I go in, talk to the DVC cast members, and make it happen. And they assure me that it can be done today. When I was in the studios and I went to the little vestibule, they said, oh yeah, go to Riviera. There's someone there that can take your money and make it happen. So this might come to fruition the very near future, before the course of the end of the day. Skyliner station, which this is one of the other benefits. You know, if I was to be at the Riviera, which I'm not, I'm looking at Boardwalk or one of the lesser inexpensive ones. On the Skyliner path, I could go to Epcot, I could go to Caribbean Beach, I could go to Art Animation, I could go to Pop Century, and I could go to Hollywood Studios, all of which are currently on the Skyliner path that is here at the moment.
Yeah, but you can't.
Very beneficial. It is a lot of money, and I completely understand that, and I have come to grips with that scenario, but I'm looking at it with a lot of things that I've done in my life as an investment. Take a chance on an investment, and over time, it will pay itself off, because it's an investment, and it's also something I want to do. So it's kind of a twofer. You got the investment aspect, and you have, you know, for my own mental happiness aspect. It sounds like it's a good decision in my opinion. All right, it's happening. We're sitting here. They have some snacks they are providing and some beverages. I got a Coca-Cola here, and they're working on the contract now, and I'm going to end up getting my home resort will be Riviera. And this is just, they're utilizing one of these rooms as the office. I'll explain more on this later, but it's happening. As of Sunday, April 4th, which just so happens to be Easter Sunday, I am officially a Disney Vacation Club member. And as part of what happened, I was given this lithograph here, my home resort. Someone is yelling with excitement. Is the Riviera. Does not mean I always have to stay here, but if I so choose, I can book 11 months out. That's how it works. I get the option to book any of the rooms I so choose 11 months out. Any of the other rooms, anywhere on property, or in Vero Beach, or in Hawaii, at Aulani, 7 months out. So 7 months out at my non-home resorts, 11 months out at my home resort, which is now Riviera. I am excited. Pretty dang excited. I've wanted to do this for many, many years, and it happened. I'm going to celebrate by taking the Skyliner over to Epcot Center and go to the DVC Lounge, which I now have access to on top of Journey to Imagination Pavilion. And for those following along who know anything more than I do about this, I have purchased 150 points that are good every year for the next 49 years. And I don't know if I'll live to be 97.
Hello.
Hey, fine?
That's all for you. Good luck your step and remain seated for the flight.
002. This is the first time I've ever gotten on the Skyliner from this position over here, from this side. Now I did want my home resort to be Boardwalk. However, Boardwalk was $210 per point, where Riviera was $201 per point. And since I can book at other resorts, it just made more sense to pay a little bit less. So you do the math, 201 times 150 points. That was the total combined, over the time period. There is financing available. There is a down payment you had to pay, but that was the total. You can do the math on that, figure all that out. I am very happy with this decision. And now I'm heading on the Skyliner over to celebrate. And I can go up in that lounge, which really was a big factor of why I wanted to do this. The resort stays are great, but it's going to be nice every time as an AP in Epcot to go up to the top of the Journey to Imagination Pavilion and have a soda, charge my phone, and just look out over Epcot for the rest of existence. Yes. Just to kind of give an example of what the point system is, certain times of the year during the off seasons, the most inexpensive points, let's say 17 would be Grand Floridian. And that's a little high. So Grand California, over in Southern California is 17. So I could use 17 of my 150 points a year and stay at Grand Cal. Now they do get better. Like let's say I wanted to stay at Vero Beach, only 10 points. So I could do 15 nights a year at Vero. I'm not going to do that, but if I wanted to, I do have the option of only staying one night at any. Let's say I wanted to stay one night at Saratoga, film it, do a room tour, do a property tour, or not even film at all, just enjoy a little staycation. Certain times of the year during the off season, only 11 points. Granted, during summer and peak Christmas and holiday times it would be a little more, but Riviera, if it's just like a little one-room studio with one bed, 11 points, which is my home resort. Poly, 16. Now the point systems do go up, like right now during spring break they are a lot higher. These are during the lowest points, which would be around September, early December. That's when I could take advantage of the 10 points per night at Old Key West. Even if I wanted to go up to Hilton Head, 6 points. 6 points. That's a pretty good deal. 10 points for Boardwalk, which I wanted to be my home resort, but opted out of that. Beach Club, 15. 11 points. I could stay at Animal Kingdom Villas during the off season, which I have full availability. Anytime I can always kind of book in advance. Non-home resorts I can book up to 7 months in advance, and I would only be utilizing 11 of my 150 points per year. Even 9 points. It really averages out, when I kind of did the math on it, to be about half what you would pay in cash. And the cast member, the gentleman that helped me out, he was telling me that it pays itself off in about 7 years. Now there's probably going to be some downsides, some disadvantages, and I'm looking forward to learning about all of those over time. But for my situation, I think this is a heck of a good deal, if I do say so myself. Making it to Epcot, I see Ratatouille up in the distance, Ratatouille, which is going to be opening October 1st. Man, I'm pretty giddy about all of this. I should also mention that I probably would not have done, I may have mentioned it before, but to reiterate, I probably would not have done it if I did not have a little more accessibility to choose on the calendar when those points that I was showing are so low. Because sometimes those points can be 3 times as high as the lowest tier I was just showing. So if that's the case, and if I wasn't doing a studio, if I needed more than 1 or 2 beds, if I needed, a 1 bedroom with a side bed with the pull out, or maybe a 2 or 3, kind of suite, it would probably not be economical. So this is just for my situation. Might not be for everyone's situation, but for my situation, I think it's gonna work, and that you can see down there kind of. The only thing that can make this moment a little more emotional is if the monorail was cruising by there. And for those who've been following me for quite some time, there is a lot of history when it comes to that upper level of this attraction. So it's kind of hitting home a little bit inside the feels that I am going to be properly welcomed up there. Now I've been invited by, I have a few friends and acquaintances who are DVC members who have said, hey, you want to come to the upper lounge up there on top of Imagination? And I have accepted, but now officially I can do this on my own with open arms. I can walk back up there to the top of that glass pyramid. There's a deep history. Isn't that right, Ducks? You remember back then? Years ago, many years ago. Yep, things have changed since then. Some learning was done, and it's a new era. Man, if that monorail was going by, I'd probably shed a tear right now thinking about the history, my history, and how grateful and thankful I am that. Okay, enough of that discussion. Let's go up there. Let me go up there. Easter Sunday 2021, mark this day down for posterity, because I did, mentally. Oh, so stoked. Now this sign states Disney Vacation Club members only, and as I turn and walk up this very familiar staircase leading to the top pinnacle, you can see the glass up at the top, you can see the pyramid up at the section there, and then pulling along here you see this tarp. I think this might be like a monorail placed along the side here of this tarp, and you turn the corner and go back up towards the top of the pyramid and the lounge. Now when everything gets back to the usual, you'll be able to see the monorail over there, but you still can see Spaceship Earth off in the distance, that beautiful sphere.
Okay.
Oh, we got some snacks here. Got some Cheez-Its. And there's 2 Cheez-Its because Michael K, I have invited him as a guest. You're my first guest up here.
I'm honored to be your first.
You can have some Cheez-Its. Isn't this amazing?
Magical experience.
I'm glad you were here to share it.
Every time.
Enjoy the Cheez-Its. And do you have Mr. Pibb?
We do, yeah.
So you can't, normally you can do this on your own, but the cast member is going to give us little complimentary beverages. What are you going to get?
Same thing, that sounds good.
You're going to get a Pibb?
Let's do it.
Kind of resembles like the design of Spaceship Earth there on those little, the design, well I guess it could be part of the pyramid as well, but that kind of has like a Spaceship Earth vibe, doesn't it? It kind of looks like a rocket as well. Look at the sun directly overhead. Yeah. Pretty amazing with the clouds up there. I could just sit in here all day. Want to just sit here all day?
I'm down.
Seeing Spaceship Earth over there. That'll never get old. This is open every day. I think they said 11 to 6, right? 11 to 6 or 11 to 7. I'm now walking over to get a refill. I like this little swirl here. I like the way the carpet is set up. All through here, look, the design of the carpet is pretty amazing. The table, it's the table right there. Now, they do have some distancing going on, obviously, during this time period, but yeah, pretty nice. Also from this angle, you can see the PVC fountain as well. Just kind of wanted to show that. Now, if the monorail was quite operational, you would get a really good view of the monorail going across the beam there. You see Test Track in the distance, and the former Wonders of Life Pavilion, and the new Guardians attraction that's happening over there. It's kind of about as far back as I can get to show the whole top portion of the pyramid as well. And if you're wondering the correlation to where the rainbow tunnel was, it was over in that corner over there, back behind this little cylinder item. It's closed off, but there's a second section to the pyramid, and that's where the rainbow tunnel, where Michael Jackson walked through, that famous photo was taken. And it wasn't just the King of Pop that stood in that rainbow tunnel, which is just off to the side of where I'm sitting, but also the Dream Finder and Figment himself. And then heading back down, you know what? I think I'm going to take the elevator back down. Never taken the elevator before, so want to take the elevator?
Oh, let's do it.
Take the elevator, which has this very unique looking, says there it goes, we're going down to level 1. We're on level 2, but we're going to go down to level 1 at any moment. Okay, now it says level 2. I don't know when it's going to work. Let's check out that. There it is. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Okay, you got it.
This looks pretty cool. Look at this. Nice. And there's like a keypad here. This is like so retro. This is definitely like 82 right here. Okay, we got to go down to 1. This is the same pad. It has to be the same pad from back in the day. I would say. Look at the
ceiling.
Look at the ceiling. Wow, we are in old school Epcot right now.
That's epic.
Is it like blowing your mind?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great.
They haven't changed this at all, and I love it.
Oh, where are we? Wait, where the heck are we? Not just accommodations and not just being able to go up in the DVC lounge here at Epcot, but there's also a DVC lounge, I believe, up top of Bay Lake Tower, which we asked, there is not open yet over there, but down the road that will happen, as well as special Moonlight Madness events and, you know, other certain activities that will take place that are good with the card that I have that I've just gotten as of today. That I'm a member. Okay, all that in time. In time. Remind me if I've forgotten anything. What are some of the other events that DVC does? I brought up the Moonlight Madness and what else?
And Moonlight Magic, which is really
Moonlight Magic.
That's awesome. At the water parks. I love that.
Oh, it's at the water parks?
Yeah.
They had one at Magic Kingdom a couple years ago too, right?
Right, they have some at the parks, sometimes at the water parks. I went to one with a friend at the water park.
So that's a nice little
They were
perk.
actually like dumping rubber ducks into the lazy river.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
It was awesome.
As I depart, you can see Tower over there in the distance. Studios. That's where I'm heading back to my car. An eventful, exciting day. One for the books. Not too far of a commute. Up there is the new accommodations, the Riviera. I would say 9 times out of 10 I won't even be staying at what is designated my home spot. But I'll probably stay there on occasion. But there's so many places I want to, so many DVC locations here at WDW I would like to stay at, and that will happen. Not in the immediate future because the points are very high this time of year. But as time goes on, during the slow seasons, it'll happen. Now I have that ability. I've taken it out of the bubble wrap, but I purchased this as Welcome Home, and then on the other side says Disney Vacation Club Member. That's going to do it for today. I always enjoy walking down this tram route because there will come a time in the future, well, I don't know if it's the near future, but the not so distant future, where I will not be able to peruse and walk down the tram route because the tram will be back running again. Oh, this is a good day. I am happy. The vlog, yeah, it's just something I always wanted to do, and I did it. It's a new era. The vlog is over.